For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
That's right. I'm back. Little hiatus, as they say. But, it's 2020. I'm excited. You know the show, your 15 minutes, in case this is your first watch or you haven't watched in a while. Let me remind you, I've got Symbol here, my table. By the way, I'm Tom Bass. Glad you're back. And Symbol is my guest, and I've got an incredible guest today, by the way. It's probably taken me 5 months to get this guy. I mean, he's hard to get. That's why I haven't been on the show. But finally, I brought him in. I flew him in. Came in, he's big timer. Big timer. Anyway, got Symbol. He's going to tell a little story and it symbolizes something about his life. If you remember, I've got my clock. I'm getting ready here because he only gets 15 minutes. So we're going to put that right there. And other than that, I've got my prop bucket back there. We're going to talk about a few things, but let's get this show kicked off. It's 2020. I'm bringing him in. The man, the myth, the legend, Kevin Self. Kevin, will you come on in here, please? Come on and join the show. Take a seat. Come on in, buddy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So we're here. Is that chair relaxing?
Nice.
It should be because this is the cheap chair. This chair was like about, I don't even remember. It's a couple bucks. That is the more expensive chair. So I want my guests to feel good. Do you feel good?
I do. I like it. I like it a lot.
All right. So now that we've established that, we'll get your clock running here because the countdown has begun. So let's talk about your 15 minutes. Kevin Self, tell us a little about yourself, sir. No pun intended, yourself.
A little bit about myself. Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Went to Georgia Tech. Big Dolphin fan. Big movie TV buff. Got into officiating about 15 years ago.
Officiating what?
I officiate basketball.
Basketball hoop. You're a hoopster.
I'm a hoopster.
So maybe that's why symbolically we've got a basketball hoop behind us. Or maybe it's just, coincidence.
Outdoor hoop. Black top.
Black top. Okay, I'm sorry, sir. Go ahead, please.
Oh, no. Refereeing. Got started at the Georgia games, actually. Guy came up when I was yelling at the ref and basically said, "Can you do any better?" And I told him I thought I could.
I love it. And you have.
I think so. I work hard at it. It's fun times, and it's a passion of mine.
And you've got a sweet jacket on. Usually we wait till later in the show, but why not? Let's give a shout out right now to, since we're waiting on that big fund, that big check to come in to sponsor your 15 minutes, but it's still somehow lost in the mail. So instead, I allow my guests to have a sponsorship until we get the big money sponsor. But today, this show is sponsored by
Georgia Officials LLC.
Very
we
nice.
officiate multi-sports all in and around the metro Atlanta area, mostly Gwinnett and Forsyth.
So if you have any leagues, you need referees, whether it's maybe the JCC or you have a rec league or maybe big-time league, it could be the biggest and best refereeing you've ever asked for. Call Kevin. Maybe we'll shoot his number up, but maybe not. But you can get a hold of me, and we'll get a hold of Kevin. Now, Kevin, I've got my prop bucket here, and you mentioned, just real quick, you mentioned the Dolphins. So if you'll take that. I'm going to take this. All right, I'm going to tell you that I actually grew up in South Florida. I couldn't get a white hanky, so I went for this ripped dish towel, and turn that around so they don't see as much red, and kind of a Christmas towel. So in the honor of the 1972 undefeated Dolphins, I want you to know I was at every home game, every game for the Dolphins, and I waved my white hanky for the undefeated season. I've got the ripped towel. You've got that. But in honor of the 72 Dolphins, because you're a Dolphin fan, I'm a Dolphin and Steeler fan. I'm both because my family's from Pittsburgh. Can we just wave these just for a second? And we're reminding back this as if we're 1972, Bob Greasy, undefeated. We're in the
Larry
right now,
Zonka.
Larry Zonka. Remember, we're in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, Dolphins.
Woo! Okay. Not bad. Thank you.
Not bad.
Very good. Very good. So you're an official.
Yes, sir.
So I would think that in your life as an official, you've come across a number of solid players or famous people, maybe not a basketball. Have you ever had a brush with fame, as many of my guests usually have?
Brush with fame. Come across a few people. Actually, the one that I think from a basketball standpoint most people would know is we were down at University of Auburn for a swim meet.
War Eagle,
even though we'll go somewhere else later on that. But
okay.
University of Auburn, daughter swimming, and I walk into the bar, and I see this bald guy sitting at the thing. He was just cutting up.
Whoa,
I know.
Whoa. Oh, come on now.
It looked good. It was good.
Okay.
It looked good.
All right.
And I looked over and I looked over to all my girls. I said, "That's Charles Barkley."
Phenomenal.
Charles Barkley. Yep. And my girl's like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "He's famous, Hall of Famer. He's big time." And they're like, "I want a picture. I want a picture." And so I said, "Well, you gotta go ask him." And so they walk over there. At this time, they're probably 8, 10 years old, and they sort of just tug on his shirt sitting down. And he's 6'8". He leans down the chair and looks at him, and he's like, "Yes, can I help you?" And it was just hilarious. They look at him. That my daddy says you're famous.
I love it. I love it.
And he's like, "Who's your daddy?" And they learned how to turn and point to me, and I just sort of wave, and he just sort of laughed and smiled, and he said, "Can we get a picture with you?" And he's like, "Absolutely." So we went over there, met him. I ended up buying him a beverage.
I love it.
Great guy, really hilarious, and he was a class act.
I love to hear that because so often I don't like to be a star chaser or fame chaser because usually when you meet these people, they blow you off. They're too busy. They big time you. And he comes across as a kind of guy as funny or sometimes controversial or like him or love him or hate him, whatever. He seems like the kind of guy that's definitely approachable and definitely would do that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, great guy. It was phenomenal.
That is fantastic. Now, another thing you're interested in and we talk about all the time is you are a film buff because you go to movies all the time. Is that correct?
Huge film buff. I have a great system that I learned from a friend of mine. Just a huge movie buff, and the system is phenomenal.
So you may have stolen and made it the self system, but it's the original Bass movie rating system, 0 to 5.
With that.
0 to 5.
Certifiable.
0 to 5. So we have a discussion about a film that is an ongoing film. Now, our watchers and viewers out there, and there are throngs of them.
Absolutely.
Growing exponentially as we speak.
More after today.
As we speak right now, the clicks are click, because Kevin Self is on the show. But you have a film that you've been pushing me to see, and I almost purposely don't just because it's so funny because you always ask me. I still have not got around to it. Our viewers over there, we don't want to overhype them because it may not be a 5, but it's still a movie that you insist I must see. Tell us about this film.
This movie, while he has not seen it, it is a solid 4. And I'm sure he'll go on the scale of that, but it's a solid 4 out of 5 scale. I mean, one of the best movies of the year, Hunter Killer.
Hunter Killer, a sub movie.
Submarine war movie.
Submarine war movie for all of you out there. He's been raving about it. It's probably on your. At this point, you can probably watch it anywhere. It's been a few years. But we've had a few agreements, a few disagreements. I at times I kind of like little artsy films that I warn you about. I raved about La La Land, which you did not rave about that movie.
Did not rave.
It didn't work for you.
What didn't work for me? I always laughed at She.
She.
Was it She, the Joaquin Phoenix, the computer where he fell in love?
Oh, I never saw that one.
You didn't?
No,
Okay.
did you see it?
No, I just heard.
I did see She.
I thought it'd be one you.
It's some kind of a pronoun. She, he, they, it.
Don't know.
Now, last year, my favorite movie of the year was called Joker, and I raved about it. I loved it. And I remember you drove by me in a car, and you asked me about Joker, and I said, it is not a superhero film. It's a great film. It deals with a lot of really serious social issues, and, you have poverty and mental illness. So it's not a feel-good movie. If you're going to see it, be prepared for it. You went to see the movie. When I saw you, you drove up to me, and your response was, I didn't feel good about it. It made me put me down. Did I not warn you for that, sir?
You did. You gave me the full disclosure, and like you said, we agree a lot, disagree on just a few, but you were right on. Not a feel-good movie, good movie, but that's just not one I'm highly recommending.
Don't panic. Little win, but we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. So moving away from film and Hunter Killer, I'm gonna see it. Maybe for my next show, I'll let somebody know.
Solid 4.
Solid 4. Symbol, as you know, sits here in front of our eyes, and I see symbolically we have something that you have on our symbol. Tell us the story about what you brought and explain it for us.
Well, what I brought is, of course, referee whistle. Standard Fox 40 whistle, no P involved. You get that crisp sound.
The Fox 40.
Fox 40.
And that's like, is that? I mean, if I were a famous referee, I'd be like, man, he's got the Fox 40.
Fox 40.
What about the Fox 20?
Oh, no Fox 40 and 20, and definitely no Tornado. That's got a high-pitched sound. No referee likes it when you have that.
All right, so go out to Academy Sports or Dick's. I don't want to give too many shout-outs, but somewhere, can you get the Fox 40? You have to order it.
You can get it. You can get it at all those places. Best order online from officialsoutlet.com.
Excellent. Tell us about the Fox 40.
Fox 40 whistle. The story on this Fox 40 whistle is that my daughters know refereeing for a long time. Is I always have it with me. They sort of know it, and we actually were on a Disney cruise, and so Disney hypes all these.
Favorite Disney princess?
Favorite Disney princess? Ariel, of course.
Ariel. Okay, very nice.
Ariel.
Okay, all right, good. I'm sorry.
One daughter's is Sleeping Beauty, and the other's is Mulan, but mine is Ariel.
And live action Mulan coming out soon, but we'll talk about that in another show. All right, back to the Fox 40.
So we're on the cruise, and they have all these different games families can participate in, and one that we missed originally was Do You Know Your Family? And so basically it's two people in the family, mother, husband, daughter, father, mother. We chose to go, me and my daughter, on the show. And basically they ask 4 questions, and then the bonus round question, and then you sit in the chair, and they hold the answer up behind you, and they got the stage full of people, and your daughter answers it, and they ask a question like, what is your dad's favorite sport? They're holding her answer up, and now I've got to answer what I think she said. Well, the funny thing is we were neck and neck right there till the end, and so it came down to me and other contestants. It was eliminating people, and there were hundreds of people.
So you knew your family?
Oh, I
eliminated.
Yeah,
but so far you've known your family.
Yeah, we were neck and neck. They were pulling people off stage as they dropped off, missing questions, and so it comes down to the final question, and he dropped out unless we got it wrong. And so they said, okay, what is, and it was amazing. They said, what is the one thing that your dad always has with him? And it was sort of funny. I'm like, there's no way she said this. I'm like, but please. I go, my Fox 40 whistle.
And?
Oh, jumping for joy.
The Fox 40. You got the W.
Yeah, no one in the audience could believe it.
Did you blow the Fox 40?
Oh, yeah, blew the Fox 40.
And did you win a prize for the Fox 40?
We did win a prize for the Fox 40.
Did you win a Fox 60?
No, we won a fabulous plastic Disney necklace of Mickey. It was phenomenal. It was a half-day event,
man.
And we walked away. We did get our pictures taken with Mickey after that and everything, and some princesses they brought in. So it was cool. It was a great show, but Fox 40 whistle won the prize.
Well, that is a fantastic story. That is a great story. Now, you also. Do you mind if I reach in?
Go right ahead.
Because, this is a lengthy show, and already I'm feeling this. What is this that you brought along in our prop bucket here?
In recognition to you and your start of the 2020 season, I brought another shout out for a neighborhood, Forsyth County. Yeah. Da Vinci Donuts.
Da Vinci
they
Donuts.
Are life-changing. Should get them as a sponsor. They might.
Well, you never know. Maybe I'll shoot a show in Da Vinci.
Made fresh daily.
Made fresh daily. What do you have there? What kind of donuts do you have
I'll
there?
let you bite into my personal favorite.
Which is? Oh, he's opening this up here. It looks fantastic. What do we have?
Personal favorite, you got to try that one specially for you. That is the maple bacon.
So I have a donut in front of me right now, all of you out there, that has bacon on top.
Bacon on top, maple syrup.
May I indulge?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Fantastic.
It is. It really
Ladies
is.
and gentlemen, this is fantastic. Why do people talk like this when they're eating a donut? This is great. I feel like a carnival barker. This is a great donut. My goodness gracious, man. Absolutely. Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Now, Georgia Tech.
Yep.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets.
What do you feel about the new the coach and their chances against the University of Georgia, where the multitude of people root for is the SEC, as they say?
SEC. Josh Pastner, I've met him, got to know him at camps. We referee actually his summer camp that he does, his team camp. Great guy. The jury's out. I think he's going to come through. I think this next recruiting class, he's working hard on that. And that's what it's about, recruits. But I think Tech is on the way up. We got a new football coach, Jeff Collins.
Mm-hmm.
People are excited about that. Had a sort of a surprise year, actually. Won a few more games than people thought they would.
Yeah.
But basketball-wise, I think Josh, this is going to be a turning point in recruiting.
Okay. Now, my final thing I want to talk to you about is the holiday season, because I've known you a long time.
Yep.
And you and your wonderful bride, annually, my favorite holiday of the year is Halloween. And annually, you are the greatest. You outdo me on Halloween because you dress up and continue to dress up every Halloween. Tell me why, or what your excitement, what your plan is for Halloween, and how you come about your decisions.
Well,
and what is your favorite one that you ever dressed up as?
My favorite one, probably first how it came about is my wife. That's her favorite holiday, And so since the kids were little, growing up, we all dressed up. It made her happy. She loved decorating the house. Happy wife, happy life.
That's right.
So we started dressing up, and every year, especially the cul-de-sac, we've got it to where the whole cul-de-sac dresses up in a theme. We've done Alice in Wonderland theme was a big one. We're all dressed up.
Were you the Mad Hatter?
No, actually, it was one of the Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Probably Tweedledum.
Barker was the Tweedledum.
No offense. Go ahead.
No offense. We probably both were the Tweedledum.
Okay.
Probably both were. But probably my favorite costume dressing up, if I had to say, it had to be Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. Did you get the teeth, too?
Had the teeth. Yeah, those. I can't remember what they're called.
The British teeth.
British teeth. Oh, yeah. They're
no offense to any Brits that are out there.
Of course not.
Crumpets and tea.
Yeah, that's right.
Just felt I'd throw that out there. So, finally, I want to tell you, as we begin to wind down here, the new little twist to the show, and this is another reason why I kind of held off on getting started till 2020, is I had to wait for these to come in. Each one of my guests now, and if you were a former guest on your 15 minutes, well, you missed out. I mean, I'm not going to mail them to you. I mean, I'm sorry, too bad. But you, Kevin Self, as the first guest of 2020, you are going to get, if I might show you, the Tom Bass Your 15-Minute Socks. And if I might indulge, excuse me, I'll be right back, sir. I need to show my, if you see here, we've got the Tom Bass sock. And, sir, I expect you, your wife, and both of your children to, and there's Glenn Davison. Hey, Glenn. That's Glenn. Hey, Glenn, that's Glenn. Glenn lives across the street from me. Listen to this. Perfect timing. Roscoe is barking, okay? Glenn is walking by with his dog, and Kevin, you've got socks.
I've got socks.
So,
right.
I mean, it does not get any better than this, buddy.
No.
Well, man, it goes fast, but it's been a great 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We've covered your entire life. There's nothing else that's anything of your life that's important except for what we've just talked about in the last 15 minutes. So, congratulations. Hunter Killer.
Hunter Killer, a solid 4.
Solid 4. And as I begin to wrap up here and clean up here, there's one more piece to the puzzle, Kevin, the Your 15 Minutes puzzle, which I think you know because I know you're one of my throngs. I'm sure you've watched many of the shows, if not all of them.
If not all.
Okay,
Not
excellent.
all.
So it is now, and by the way, he doesn't know this, but I will be just kind of subtly putting these back in my prop bucket, and you know where they're going to end up. Kevin, as I begin to clean up, I was called to the carpet by my last guest, Keith Dugan, that it's really a cappella, not karaoke, but I'm still going to stick with karaoke. So if you were in a karaoke bar, you have a song that you're going to have to share, and if you don't mind, just sit there and get started as I clean up. If you'll please karaoke and send us out of Kevin Self, Your 15 Minutes.
And thanks again for these socks.
You got it.
Well, a song near to dear to my heart, which my daughters are going to kill me for this one, but we'll just go ahead and jump on it, is I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of a, can I say that word?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Hell of an engineer. Like all you jolly good fellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer. If I had a daughter, sir, I'd dress her in white and gold. Put her on the campus to cheer the brave and bold. But if I had a son, sir, I tell you what he'd do. He would yell to hell to Georgia like his daddy used to do. I'm a rambling wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer. A hell of an engineer. Like all of you jolly good fellows, I drink my whiskey clear. I'm a rambling, gambling, hell of an engineer.
Kevin Self, can I?
Go ahead.
The 40, and we are out of here, sir. Thank you for being on the show today.
Absolutely.
And thank you, and we'll see you next time on Your 15 Minutes. Farewell, my friend. You go that way.
All right.
I go this way, and we'll see you soon.